up, guys? Welcome back to welcome back to the podcast, guys. I know this again. I feel like every podcast episode I start is sorry in the background. I'm not sorry I'm not at my studio. You know. That I feel like I'm sounding like a friggin' a musician who is busy I'm trying to think of, like, I sound like Nicki Minaj because I feel like she hasn't put out music recently. She hasn't been in the studio, and I haven't been in the studio because it's tour, man. Dude, every time I'm like, hey, man, every time I'm like tour, I could do a tour, but then I can, while I'm touring, podcasts and videos are so easy and I can do them no problem. And then I start touring again and it's like, fuck, I have no time. And I also have no energy to do anything at all. So that's why things have been a little slow on the podcast front. I'm actually not even on tour right now, this second. I'm actually in Spain. I was going to press the applause button, but I don't have my soundboard here. I'm in Spain right now. I'm in Spain with the S, okay? It's not without the S because I'm not in pain. Actually, I am in a little bit of pain because went out last night and we were dancing until like 2. It's like 1 a.m, dude. Who the fuck? Who am I? But yeah, dude, we were in Barcelona, and it was awesome. We were there for like 4 days, and it was really, really beautiful. Food was insane. We went to this place called Bar Brutal, and it was awesome, man. Food was ridiculous. We went to the what's it called? Sagrada Familia, the beautiful church. And now we're in Mallorca, beautiful Palma, Mallorca, and it's beautiful, man. In my hotel room, what's up, man? It's here in my garage, and it's been a great trip. But so that is why. Okay, and then the cool thing is, we leave Palma today. We go to another city, and then we go to another city after that. And then I go home. And then the cool thing about that is I'm home for one singular day. And then I go back on tour. I have some shows this month in Nashville, Indianapolis, Columbus, and Cleveland. And those are the September shows. And I'm so excited. They should be fun, man. So get your tickets if you haven't already. I'm pulling up tickets right now. And I mean, there's still tickets available, but they're gonna go, man. They're gonna go. There's already some sections that are almost pretty much sold out in Nashville, but grab a ticket, man. To all of them. But yeah, dude. Fuck. We got some stuff to talk about today. I don't know how long this episode is going to be. Because, like I said, I'm currently on vacation, but I haven't done this for a while, so I'm back in it, dude. I'm rusty, man, and I need my fucking soundboard. I feel like I got my arms fucking chopped off, dude. I'm powerless. I've been bound. I'm fucking bound and gagged over here on my pod, dude. Have I done a podcast since the other shows? I don't know. Have I? I think so. Fucking, I don't know, man. And also main channel shit too, man. I got so many videos I want to make, but man, exo tour life is a little crazy. But guys, let's talk about this. This is pretty funny. Oh, we got the return of the advice segment today too, so that'll be a good time. I will try to get a bonus episode out shortly to all my Patreon people. I apologize, man. This schedule's been pretty insane, and I'm trying to enjoy the vacation, but it's hard because then the whole time my brain is like, but you have stuff to do. What about that stuff you got to do? But let's do it, man. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is this video. I guess a little backstory first. So we're all familiar with the lost city of Atlantis, right? We're all familiar with that. We've all been there. You know, that was my first vacation when I was a kid. Everybody was going to Disneyland or Disney World or Disneyville or Disney Town or Disney City and Disney Country, Disney Place, you know. But my family, yeah, we would just go to Atlantis. We would just go to Atlantis sometimes for vacation because, you know, my parents had a timeshare down there. And then, you know, Disney again made that movie about Atlantis, totally blew up our spot. And then it just became like run down by tourism. So I haven't really gone to Atlantis in a while, but we know through everything about Atlantis that it's underwater, right? It was in like 8,000 BC. That's the myth from Plato, right? Plato created the idea as like a allegory for hubris, right? That's what Atlantis was created for. It's not like apparently it's not a real place, but people think it is. People think Plato could have been right. And there is a lost city on the bottom of the ocean. And that was a city that was swept out to sea in some sort of crazy event. And now people are like, where's Atlantis? Where is it? All right. Atlantis Morissette. So it's basically what they fucking say. And obviously there's people out there who want to find Atlantis, man. There's people out there who are like, fuck, where that shit at? Where you at? They go to a beach. They go to a beach, look out into the vastness of the ocean, and they go, where you at? Atlantis, where you at? Come on. And then the family is like, can you stop screaming? You're scaring my baby who's building a sandcastle. And he looks around and he sees a little town, a little city made of sand at his feet. And he goes, Atlantis! This episode of Very Really Good is sponsored by Brooklyn Bedding. Folks, if there's one thing that I think we should all prioritize a little bit more, it's sleep. And you can use like a sleeping app or a noise machine or some other doohickey that gives you better sleep. Honestly, I think the best way to ensure a better night's sleep is to get a high quality mattress. And Brooklyn Bedding makes it so easy to upgrade your sleep. You can pick the exact mattress you want with the right firmness and size, and you can get it delivered right to your door. I actually just got the Sedona Elite mattress, and guys, whoa, it is light years better than the bed we had before. And trust me, guys, when you get older, you really feel the consequences of sleeping on a bad mattress. You'll wake up with like insane back pain that will just ruin your entire day. But with Brooklyn Bedding, you never have to worry because Brooklyn Bedding is one of the few mattress brands endorsed by the American Chiropractic Association for spinal alignment and back health. Plus, they're 100% fiberglass free for peace of mind. And I know buying a new mattress can be an intimidating, daunting task. So listen up. Sleep on your Brooklyn Bedding mattress for up to 120 nights. And if you don't absolutely love it, they'll either help you return it or help you pick out a different mattress that better suits your needs. And there is no better time to start experiencing the perfect sleep with Brooklyn Bedding because I've got an awesome deal for you guys. Just go to brooklynbedding.com and use my code VRG at checkout for 30% off site-wide. Yeah, you hear that? 30% off. 30. And this offer is not available anywhere else. You have to use my promo code at the very last page of checkout to get this discount. Guys, this is a no-brainer. So click the link in my description or just go to brooklynbedding.com and use my code VRG for 30% off site-wide. Again, that's brooklynbedding.com and use promo code VRG. All right, thank you so much to Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this episode of Very Really Good. Sweet dreams. I found it. Okay. So there's a group of people who have claimed to have found Atlantis, or they're trying to summon Atlantis like it's a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card. And I would love to watch that video with you guys. So this is the video. Dude. This is the caption, first off. This is from Daily_Loud. Daily Loud. And this is the video. A large group in Atlanta, Georgia, convinced the city was once the lost city of Atlantis, gathered to summon an energy vortex and resurrect its spirit. So there's a group of people in Atlanta. You hear that? Atlanta. T-U-H, Haktua. Have you guys seen that video? It's so funny. Basically, it's a whole thing. We'll do another episode about Haktua. But there's so Atlanta, right? Atlantis. So they're getting confused. They think because it's so, they got the first part, the similar, Atlantis, right? So they think that like, oh, it must be Atlantis, right? So let's see what they're doing to create this energy vortex and resurrect its spirit.
Atlanta is Atlantis.
Atlanta is Atlantis. Atlanta is Atlantis. Atlanta is Atlantis. Atlanta is Atlantis. Yes. Okay, and the video on the right, they put the power of Atlantis is within the people. It's wherever we congregate. Okay, so that's the message is, Atlantis isn't an actual physical place. Atlantis is a state of mind. Atlantis is a state of mind. Atlantis. Really wet city 'cause it's underwater. There's fish and sharks too. And they use colorful rocks for money because they don't have cash down there. It's just fish and other crap and coral. That's an Atlantis state of mind, dude. Yeah, the Alicia Keys, Florida Keys. What the fuck, man? Atlanta is Atlantis. Atlanta is Atlantis. You could just do that. You could just say that anywhere. About it. That's pretty cool. You could just, if you just get a big group of people, if you get a big enough group of people to just say the same thing, it makes it true and real. I think if I was like, yo, we're doing a big fan meetup at the fucking CN Tower in Toronto. Get here at fucking 3 p.m. We're doing a big fan meetup. And then whenever everybody gets there, I'm like, okay, guys, I need your help. I know we're in Toronto right now, but we have the power inside of us, okay? If we just work together, then we can do this. So I'm going to say, we're at the count of 3, we're all going to say Toronto is Chris Angel's house. Because just like a random somewhere or someone would want. I don't personally want to go there or anything, but like some people would want to. But Toronto is Chris Angel's house. Toronto is Chris Angel's house. Toronto is Chris Angel's house. And then he would just show up, I guess. I don't know. Or does it have to sound similar? Is that the thing? Because there's a city there. No, sorry. There's a province. Am I fucking stupid? I actually might be. Yeah, it's a city, right? Yeah, duh. Sorry. There's a city in Canada, okay? There's a city in Saskatchewan specifically, and it's called Regina. And I think I'm doing a show there, right? I'm doing a show in Regina. Yeah. I'm doing a show in Regina. And I'm being serious. That is how you pronounce it if you've never heard of it. But, I mean, obviously that was... People were cracking up in elementary school when the teacher said Regina. Because obviously it sounds like something else, right? So, what if big group of people go to Regina and they go, Regina is vagina. Regina is vagina. Regina is vagina, you know? Then what would happen? Would the whole town, would the whole fucking city turn into a vagina? Then what? That'd be pretty sick. That'd be pretty crazy, man. Yeah, I live in Vagina. Yeah, I just bought a house up in the fallopian tubes, man. Stupid. Yeah, you just take the fallopian tube to work. That's like a subway system. Okay. Okay. Yeah, obviously the main issue with the Atlantis thing, though, as this top comment points out, is Atlanta is landlocked. It is not close to water. You know, like it's in like the fucking middle of the fucking country. America, that is. So, and Atlantis is famously an underwater city. So how the fuck would Atlanta be Atlantis, right? I mean, do they? And then okay, so to resurrect its spirit, do they want Atlantis to just like rise up from the fucking beneath Atlanta and just ruin everything? Also, dude, this is a fucking Futurama episode, right? This is literally the plot of a Futurama episode. Atlanta Futurama. Yeah, dude, the lost city of Atlanta. Yeah, and they're like radioactive fish people. Yeah, dude. We're so cooked, man. Atlanta is on drugs. What'd they do when they stopped chanting? Just go home? That was a good rally. Let's pack it up again. Let's pick it up again next week. Yeah, that's a good point, too. That's got to be so awkward. Like, okay, well, all right. It's not, so I guess it's not Atlantis. All right. Well, fuck. Sorry. We thought it was thought this was an underwater city, but, or yeah, maybe they were just wishing for a flood. Because that's fucked up. Because that would turn underwater, I guess. Okay, so everyone is what the fuck? Yeah, so I did a little bit of research, and I found the person who like organized this event, and they've got some interesting opinions for sure. He's an entrepreneur, you know, as they always are. So he posted this 1 week ago, and he just reposted the video of the Atlanta is Atlantis, and he captioned it, "It's been almost 2 months. No Atlanta-based media reached out to find out why we hit that mountain or what our intent was, but as much as they chose to clip up an entire event into a 16-second soundbite, my response to them would be 6 to 7 days... 6 to 7 days after this demonstration, the waters came and didn't stop for the entire summer, globally." I don't know if that's true. So they just made it rain a lot? So yes, a cleansing commenced and high tides lift all boats. The last passage I read that day said, "Prepare like they did in the tunes of Noah. A flood is coming." Yeah, I think it meant like a flood of like people chirping you, because this is a lot of that. The Christian commentary in the comments has to be the most hilarious thing ever, though. Gonna go live later, read some of them. Let's get a good laugh out of it. We know the work is working. Okay, why do y'all think Atlantis is Atlanta and it's no water or not surrounded by water? I'm mad curious of this conclusion. Let's see the replies. Okay, Atlantis is the people. It was a global empire. Atlantis was considered the whole globe. So yes, Atlanta is a part of it. Georgia is surrounded by water. Okay, and then the creator of this says, Atlantis was a crystal technology civilization. We are on a crystal mountain, making proclamations that came about. And overriding the proclamations, the clan uses the crystal for. And Atlanta flash flooded the day before, and those floods went around the country and then the world. So yeah, we stand on our claim that Atlanta is Atlantis, because we the descendants of Atlanteans up in this. But fuck what we call it. Let's talk about the receipts, please. Okay. Dude, that I want to go to one of these. It looks fucking lit.
Called Stone Mountain, and we're literally standing on the center point. The geodetic center point of Stone Mountain, right here, is where we tether ourselves and screw into the earth.
That's right.
Of the center. This is where the volcano goes down to. So in Bakwa, which is an internal martial arts system, and I'm standing next to who we call our brother. This is the Grand Sheik, but he's also seafood. Right? So our brother, Dr. B is not here, but he's teaching a kinesiology class. And kinesiology is about utilizing visualization.
Yes.
When we
I mean, again, you can believe anything you want, right? Who am I to say Atlanta is not Atlantis, right? What do I know? But, you know, what is this link in his bio? I'm so curious about this guy. Goldwater. Goldwater.com. And we've got some chat GPT AI generated pictures of it. Okay, so he's selling gold water. Every time there's someone posting some interesting, crazy stuff on Instagram, they're always selling some sort of fucking product. What does this do? Okay, gold water is made from pure 99.99% gold that has been changed into tiny nano-sized particles suspended in ionized water. Take 2 to 3 drops every morning for your first meal. So you're just eating fucking gold, basically. Here's some of the benefits of gold water. Mental acuity and focus, faster learning, improved memory, energy boosting, more vivid dreams, reduce inflammation, improve hand-eye coordinate. Dude. Man. So yeah, dude. Maybe that's the problem. I'm gonna start drinking a bunch of gold water. That's pretty pretty cheap if it's 100% gold. Sorry, 99.99 gold. Man, I was just in Atlanta too, and I had no idea. I had fucking no idea that Atlanta was Atlantis. Man. Well, God, yeah, we are it's cool seeing stuff like that, because, you know, I think I think it's easy to get, upset by it, to be like, fuck, man, we're so dumb. We're just doing the weirdest shit, like, we're cooked, But at the same time, man, like, it's kind of nice. It is kind of, like, endearing You know what I mean? Like, to like the human spirit. You know what I mean? Like, it can really believe anything. Humans can believe fucking anything, man. If you just say the right things to a right person, they'll be like, okay. Isn't that fucking amazing? It's so, I mean, it's scary, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of nice. You know, we just want to believe. You know, we just we just want things to be magical, man. And it's you know, so I don't fault these people. I don't fault the people of Atlanta who went onto the top of the mountain. Because you know what? Fuck it. This hotel room is Atlantis. This hotel room is the moon. So, and you can't fucking tell me otherwise, okay? All right, let's change the subject. Let's talk about the next thing I want to talk about, dude. I found another video that was pretty fun. No! Did they fucking delete it, bro? Oh my god. I saved it. Guys, don't worry. Don't worry. Crisis averted. Crisis averted, okay? I saved it. I saved the video. So, what we're going to do is a little screen recording. Okay, before we get into it, before we get into this next subject, because this will be about Taylor Swift, Swifties. I got no beef. I got no beef with you guys. Okay, you can listen to whatever shit you want. You know, some of her music is good, you know. I'm not like crazy about I'm never like, yo, put on that new Taylor, but you know, to each their own, right? I truly do not give a fuck what you listen to. But I found a pretty interesting video because, you know, Taylor Swift, she just announced her new album. You know, she just announced her new fiance, Travis Kelce, and he's a big tall man, and she gets to be small girl. Have you guys seen that video? And it's pretty awesome. So I'm really happy for them, you know. God. I'm really happy for them. And so Taylor's in the news, you know, as she's in the news. And I guess this has prompted this person to do this. And I don't know if it's real or not. I think it is, because they have a literal certificate of a change. Okay, let's just watch this video.
I legally changed my name to Caroline Melissa Taylor because of Taylor Swift. And if you don't like that, go touch grass. Also, if anyone can let Taylor know, because I still don't know whether or not she knows I did this.
Okay, so this person changed their full name to Caroline Melissa. Their previous name was Caroline. They're holding a certificate for British Columbia. They're Canadian. Dang. Regina is vagina. Caroline Melissa is Caroline Melissa Taylor. Caroline Melissa is Caroline Melissa Taylor. If you say it, it's true. So, yes, it says previous name, Caroline Melissa. And now it's new name, Caroline Melissa Taylor. And she said she changed her name because of Taylor Swift. So I feel like that's weird. Personally, you know, I mean, I guess it's like not that crazy. You can literally, I guess you could just do whatever you want, but like, you're just going to add, you didn't even change your name really. You just added it to your name. Because her name was Caroline Melissa, now they're Caroline Melissa Taylor. So they're just adding it. Like, So that would mean like if you just add the person you like to your name. What would I fucking Curtis Chris Angel Connor? Like what the hell? You know what I mean? Curtis Atlantis Connor. Yeah, I'm gonna change my name to Atlantis. Curtis is Atlantis. me in front of the name change office. Is there that? Real quick, is there that? Is there that? Is there a name change office? It's probably just like a government office, right? Hello, I would like to change my name to Taylor. Craziest thing about this, and like it's one thing to like name a child after Taylor Swift. Like you're a big Taylor Swift fan, you love Taylor Swift, she got you through a bunch of hard times in your life, you know, and you just like love everything she does, right? So and then you have a daughter, or a son, and you name them Taylor, right? Because Taylor is one of those names where it's like, you know, you meet a guy named Taylor and you're like, whoa, cool. It's actually kind of sick, you know? I wish more people were more. I wish people were more a little bold with that. You know, more brave with that. You know, like if they have a daughter, just name your daughter like Steve. You know, from Minecraft. I named my daughter Steve because of Minecraft. Okay. What's the most masculine fucking dude name ever? Like Trent? That's a girl. Like if you met a girl named Trent, like that's someone you remember. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is my daughter Harold. What was I saying? So the craziest part of this video is she says, I'll play it one more time.
I legally changed my name to Caroline Melissa Taylor because of Taylor Swift. And if you don't like that, go touch grass. Also,
you want us to touch grass? You want us? You just said you legally changed your name because of Taylor Swift. And then in the same breath, you said, if you don't like that, go touch grass. If I have my soundboard right now, I'll do it myself. Was that a good home improvement sound? Was that a good one? That's the fucking button I would press. Cause what the fuck? You touch grass. You go touch grass. You changed your name. Cause of a singer. Singer-songwriter. Sorry, Swifties. Sorry. Fucking close one. You touch grass, absolutely. Absolutely you go touch grass and not I. There's a bunch of grass right behind you. Also to be like so confident, be like, yeah. And if you don't like it, go touch grass. And then like a few days later, it's deleted. The video is fully taken down. I'm like, fuck. Maybe it was weird. I changed my name back to my regular name because of you, but because everyone got mad at me. And if you don't like that, go touch grass. I'm gonna go see if she made a response or anything. And I'm gonna look up her. Now that's crazy. Someone just followed. A random person just followed me. Oh yeah, because then she made a video being like, can someone tell Taylor Swift that I did this? Because I don't know if she knows. But yeah, she doesn't. Hold on, I gotta... I went viral today. This is... Yeah, okay, it's your cat. Okay, so she's kind of talking about the Taylor stuff, but...
Chase viral fame. If you're into Taylor Swift, cats, dogs, and handmade sparkle from a cool Canadian, welcome aboard. If not, exit is that way.
Okay, they seem nice. and people are being pretty mean.
Really? Say that with your whole chest next time. Sounds like a champagne problem to me.
Okay. I just think they are very millennial. I think that might have been the most millennial thing I've ever seen. And, not derogatory. I don't want to do a millennial on millennial hate right now because that is me. But, it's one. I mean, that's the thing is, you can do whatever you want, truly, with your name and shit. I think that's great. I think it's cool that, we're like, you know what? Fuck it. If you want to change your name, we have the technology. We can do that. But like the problem with what she did really was make us feel like losers. You know what I mean? Because she was like, if you got a problem with that, go touch grass, you fucking nerd. You fucking computer nerd. You're always inside. You're not doing anything with your life, you weirdo, So that's like, they kind of insulted everyone watching, which is kind of mean. I think that's where they went wrong. If they were like, yo, I changed my name to Taylor because I like Taylor Swift. And then if it was that, or if they just did it and didn't tell anyone, like, that's fine too. Who fucking cares, Because it's still their name. They just added the other name in there. But I thought that was interesting. I'm gonna change my name. Curtis, Superman, Connor. All right, guys, should we bring back this old segment, the advice segment? I've got some advice. For those of you who don't know, people on my Patreon send me advice, things, questions. Most of the time, it's arguments they need help with. Deciding or anything, or like weird niche problems they have. If you're going to send advice on Patreon, please don't make it serious. Okay? Because I don't know. So many times people were like, hey, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And I go, oh my God, I have no idea. And do not listen to me. I am a YouTuber. And I think that's fine for me to say that. So, but I have some good ones here. So let's talk about it. This is from Goobly Goobly Goo. They say, I recently had a family dinner during which we played Scattergories. One of the answers I put for the category something soft is bubbles. My aunt went crazy saying bubbles are not soft. I am needing your advice before my family falls apart over this. Please help, oh wise Curtis. Okay. Are bubbles soft? If this was like, if we were living in fucking cartoon land, then I would say yes. You know what I mean? I feel like bubbles in cartoons definitely have more weight to them. Like, I feel like you could just sleep on a bed of bubbles in a cartoon, But in real life, it just ain't all fucking peaches and cream, man. It's not all fucking nice sleeping on bubbles in beds and bubbles of bubble beds, It's not all bubbled in bed and you bought a bubbled in beds. So, and same thing as clouds. If we were in cartoon land, fuck yeah, clouds would be soft. I wanted to sleep on a cloud so bad. But then in real life, the only time you're in a cloud is when you're on a plane and it goes through the cloud and it gets a little fucking choppy and turbulent, so it's a little scary. Maybe that's why it shakes so much when a plane goes through a cloud, because it's like hitting a bunch of people who are sleeping up there and it's causing it to fucking wobble around, So, you know what? I would hate to say, I would hate to burst your bubble of whimsy here, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say bubbles are not soft. They're not. They're wet. They're wet. And you touch them and they pop. So, all right. Next one. Settle an argument. This one is from Gandalf. They say, me and my boyfriend love to fake argue about stupid topics, but there is one that we get very passionate about. He says that cats have 4 legs. I say cats have 2 arms and 2 legs. We will never agree, and we have made friends and family pick sides. Who is right? Okay. Yeah, so this is the classic, we've all seen the meme, like, how would a dog wear pants, right? We've seen the meme, right? Would the pants be along the whole thing or just on the back? Now, us, we're so humans, we try to humanize everything, right? That's what we do. It's in our nature. We see we see something with a fucking 2 dots and a line, and you go, oh, that's a face. Now my plate is alive. Now my plate of rice is alive, okay? Because it has a face, So so there's a little bit of that going on where we go, okay, we see a cat, it has 4 legs, but I'm also projecting human qualities onto this animal because I love them, and I think that's fun for me to do that, right? Because I do that too with my dog all the time. I'm like, oh, my dog, he's smiling because he's having so much fun right now. But I'm like, no, I think he's panting because his mouth is open. Because we've been playing and he's tired, right? But that's just the brain being like, oh yeah, no, he's you do little voices for your dog. It happens, you know what I mean? But there is an argument to be made, because sometimes, cats and dogs, they kind of grab shit with their fucking front legs, right? But I'm gonna say that I hate to do this. I hate to do this again, but I think cats have 4 legs, and they just use their legs in different ways than we use our legs. So we're bipedal, man. We just walk on them, right? I mean, some people do other stuff with their legs, right? But like, mainly they're just walking, Like, if someone is born without arms, right, and they got to use their legs for everything, they're not going to call them their arms, right? That's their legs, but they're just using their legs in different ways than other people do, right? And it's just different. So I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to say cats have 4 legs and dogs have 4 legs. So, sorry to, add one to your boyfriend's thing. Sorry about that, but that is how I feel. Okay, so this one is from Shane Dawson. My roommate from my previous apartment has now moved to start grad school studying pollinators and, in brackets, inventing new bees. Hey, huh? What's that? Inventing new bees? You can do that? New bee just dropped. That's what your roommate says when they come home. New bee just dropped. All right. And what? Cardi B? All right. And I miss her so much and want to go visit her. The only problem is that now she lives in Manitoba. Oh no. I was wondering if you have any advice for how I can survive the emotional and psychological turmoil of going there. Or do I need to consider her lost forever and close the curtains on a decade-long friendship? I mean, I don't want to... I love Manitoba, man. They're great, I don't want to hate on any Canadian city or town or area. Just any area of Canada, I don't want to hate, especially an entire province. I don't want to... I don't want to make fun of Manitoba, but the one time I have been in Winnipeg, it was brutal. But there's the thing, I was 7 years old, and it was my first time in like another city, and I was a little confused and frightened, but I will say, people in Manitoba, man, they've been buying tickets. I will say that. They've been buying tickets to the show. It's almost sold out, man. So I have nothing but good things to say about Manitoba. I love you, Manitoba. There's nothing wrong with Manitoba. That one time I made the joke in the video and on TikTok, it was a joke. So no, I think my advice, the emotional, it's fine. You know, you go there, go to Manitoba. I say go in January. Go January, Feb. Go Feb. Go January, February. Best time of the year. And you know, it's gonna be warm. It's gonna be nice. So, you know, pack light. Pack light. Pack light. Pack light. January, February in Manitoba. Rural Manitoba. Rural. All right, rural Manitoba. And it's going to be too hot there for bees anyway, so your friend's going to have some time off. Rural Manitoba in January, Feb. Pack light. Pack for the beach. And just don't... And book a one-way. Book a one-way, because once you go there, you don't want to come back, because it's so beautiful and so nice and so pretty. Man. But man, let me know about if your roommate makes a new bee. I didn't know you could fucking do that. I thought we were kind of just, these are the bees you have and that's it, right? Like, how does that work? Your roommate is just like, that's what their homework is, they're just thinking of a new bee. What if I made a bee? What if I made a bee? No, that's too crazy. What if I made a bee that was blue? What if I made a bee? What if I made a bee that got gingivitis? A bee with teeth. And then I could make a bee dentist. But then, dentists have really bad, statistically, they have really bad mental health. So I would need to make a bee psychiatrist. And then, you know, it just snowballs from there. They have a whole bee society, you know? Or here's the thing. If you want a new bee, you go on top of a mountain and you go, there's a new bee. There's a new bee. There is a new bee. There is a new bee. And then it'll show up, man. How long are we at? What are we at, dude? 48. Dude, what a fucking episode this was, dude. A nice vacation episode. We're going to wrap that up there. That was fun, man. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate your patience and your understanding. And, yeah, I got some shows coming up soon. Nashville, Indianapolis, Columbus, and Cleveland. And then I got a bunch more shows, dude. I'm going to Scream. In October, I'm going to San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Seattle, Portland. And that's it. And then there's November shows in the States. St. Louis, Milwaukee, Philadelphia. And then I'm also doing Canada shows in October. I'm doing one in Vancouver in October. And then November 15th, November 20th, November 21st, November 29th, and then December 4th. I'm not even saying the cities. Vancouver, Ottawa, Saskatoon, Regina. I'm going to Vagina. Winnipeg, Calgary, and then Edmonton, and then Montreal, and then Toronto, filming a special in Toronto, and then the Goodfellow World Tour is fucking done. But thank you so much for tuning in. Like the video, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit, and one more time, Atlanta is Atlantis. Goodbye.